what about this, and abandonment and rejection. It's so many different ways for that to become a battlefield. And I don't want to do it no more. And I don't know if you get to just say, I don't want to do it no more. Or if you give yourself...
Lord, here we go with part 2 of Miss Soso is still not doing well in her marriage. Anyway, you know who it is, Jenna, and we are here to talk about Soso Shanel. All right, but before we get into it, you know what to do. Thumbs the video up, subscribe if you have not already, cut your notifications on, and leave us a comment. All right. So, yes, we're just going to talk about, what she's talking about. I'm just going to basically give my commentary on her commentary. All right. But we've been going through this for how long, y'all? 2+ years. And things are still the same.
Credit for how much you've tried to do it and it just didn't work. The whole know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And this, we're parenting. He's like, I don't want to do this like this no more. I don't want to do this like this no more. I don't want...
She is rambling right now. Let me fill in the pieces for those who don't know. So I watched this whole clip and the whole live when she had it up, and she was basically saying she doesn't want to parent the way she's parenting anymore. She doesn't want to be married. My thing is she mixes parenting and marriage together. There are two different titles, two different responsibilities, and it's kind of like a little bit off to think that, that she feels that being a wife and a mother are the same. They're not. You get what I'm saying? And I think that is really her problem and why she has so much confusion going on.
But it's my son getting ready to leave, and I'm deeply emotional about it too. My son getting ready to leave in about 7 days.
Now, for those who don't know, her son, I think, is going off somewhere. I don't know if it was, to the Marines or whatever. I don't know. But he's been leaving off and on for a year. I mean, he was in Job Corps 1 year. That didn't work out. And now he's going to leave. And more than likely, he's going to come back because his parents did not completely raise him. So it looks like that he has a problem with authority. He has a problem getting a job. He's just basically not fully, done, if you will. He's not ready to be out there. So the only thing he has to do or can do is go to the Army.
Really. And he came to me and he got in my lap like a little baby. Like my little baby boy.
Now, this part I can kind of have compassion with, because obviously she's having a problem with her children being grown and developing their own minds. I have seen this in my personal life. Some parents do not know how to deal with their adult children because they are humans and they have their own experiences, and they're not going to just do what you want them to do. She says that, they're not children anymore. They're not young. She can't just tell them what to do and they do it. They are going to be defiant. They are going to do what the parents did when they were young. I mean, it's just a circle of life, and she has to process that to basically be a mother over 3 grown kids.
My son had sat in my lap and let me hold him in my arms. Probably since he was 7.
Well, that's about right, Miss Soso. He's grown. He's at least 6 feet. Looks like he's a good 275 pounds. With the arm span of a building, okay? If you keep letting him sit on your lap, you not gonna get up. That's a big boy. He is not a little boy anymore. He's a grown man. You know, he should be ready to go out and provide for himself and maybe one day get a wife of his own. You know, that's just the natural circle of life. Let that young man grow up and become what he is supposed to be. All right? Something that you may not understand, but let that man grow up.
And just to feel him feeling how that's making him feel and talking with him about it. It was such a beautiful moment. And I know he gonna be so much better off.
You know, just a few weeks ago, she was calling him all kinds of names and talking down to him. I think the reason why she does that is because he has grown up to look just like her ex-husband, which is his dad. And she has a resentful spirit against her own son. You know, she has favoritism that is very, very evident in this storyline. She just can't accept that, yes, he is growing up. And now she's crying because she's losing control. She has a control issue. She wants to control her son and her daughters. And they're just not having it. Just like no one can control her. They are a branch off of her tree. So I can imagine that she's having a difficult time because
and
she's difficult.
Everything in you as a parent to put your own shit to the side, to be there for your kids like that. And I was just grateful to be his mama. We've had a rough decade. Yeah.
I'm sure while you've been developing this social media persona called Soso, you know, you were not Soso his mom. You was not there for your children when they needed you. And half of the time you weren't even, you know, sober. Let's just basically call it out. She was not sober half of the time of being a mom. You know, you can't parent and be taking, you know, those type of, you know, extracurricular activities because those things inhibit your better judgment, your parenting, you being a wife, you being a working woman, all of that. So just call a spade and say you've had problems for a decade.
Me and my husband have had a rough decade. And it's just so many things changing. There's just so many things changing. I don't know emotionally what I feel like I need, but I can't really detail that out to everybody because I need it from me. I need it from me. I need it from myself. And I spent so much time being so strong and so dominant and operating in my masculine energy so much that is what...
Sweetie, you are a woman. You're operating in your God-given energy that he's giving you, which is a woman. You're emotional. You know, it is what it is, you know. And us women have to be strong. It doesn't say that we're masculine just because we're strong. Now, when you become a part of the situation where you're a Jezebel spirit and you're being controlling and you're being aggressive and, you know, your mouth can be harsh. We've all heard your mouth. We've all heard the language that you use towards your husband and your children. You just have to take accountability for that. Ask God to help you and maybe things will get better. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's expected of me and I don't have it no more. I really don't have it no more. Like, I have all this feminine energy, but it needs so much safety to really explode and express, right? And when I don't have that safety, that dominant energy just comes back like I can protect this. And I'm like, you can't, you're gonna...
What I'm hearing is a lot of confusion. You know, what she's saying about the feminine energy is that's her, you know, basically her damsel in distress and she wants to be protected. But when someone tries to protect her, then she becomes this other thing that's aggressive and don't touch me. And you want everything on your terms. And that's why she always ends up in the condition that she's in now, which is alone, you know, on social media doing yoga. You get what I'm saying? And it's all about her. It's all about her flexibility and her growth and her journey. But it's never about the people that are around her. She doesn't know how to, you know, appease people and please them. She wants to be the only one who is being appeased.
Something crazy. And I need to just... And I have some amazing friends. I have some amazing, supportive, loving, compassionate, graceful, classy, oh man, warrior style friendships right now, right? And everybody going through something.
The operative word is right now. One thing about the Jezebel spirit, it always keeps good people around it. Why? Because it couldn't handle its own reflection. It couldn't handle its own treatment. That's why she said right now, because she already knows that it's going to go away, because her spirit doesn't allow people to stay around. I've dealt with people like that in real life. Okay, but then she said they have problems too. Yes, everyone has problems, but the difference between regular folks and her is she has no compassion. She wants everybody to stop their life when she has problems, which is all the time, and that is draining, and that's why they run away. I'm just keeping it real. Okay, y'all understand?
My friend's going through something, and give me a second. I'm reacting to a comment. I saw somebody saying you need to stay with who you with because ain't nobody gonna love you like whoever. And it's just like, that makes me so sad when I'm shedding the idea that I have to be with a man to be happy, or I have to be with somebody to be happy. And it always is just super uncomfortable when people.
But the thing about it is, Miss Soso may not even be happy on her own. She hasn't even tried it. She went from her first marriage straight into another marriage. And in this series of these 2 videos that we have posted on What's the Tea, she said that she is envisioning herself with another partner. Not envisioning herself just being alone or being basically single or just getting herself together so she'll be a better person for her partner. She just wants someone around for her enjoyment, if you will, and her company, because she really can't be happy. Happiness and joy comes from God, and she refuses to go and be with God and ask him for help.
People just like, you better keep what you got because it ain't nothing out here. And it's like, who should accept less than because it's better than being alone? Like, I've done that. I have accepted less than because it was better than being alone.
Here, once again, you're talking about your husband now. You're putting him down, saying, he's less than. Oh, but a few weeks ago, y'all were good, and you were rocking the ring, and you were, saying happy holidays. And I can just imagine why things are not going well, because one day it's good, one day it's not. It's so polarizing here. It's just... it's one end or the other. It's no middle, and that's why that man run away into someone else's arms and made a whole family, and you just can't digest that because he trumped your action. See, you didn't do that with your husband, you didn't have another child that we know of, but, your husband now, he really did a doozy on you.
Whole time, I'm not even fitting the mold of what my partner needs. It ain't never one-sided, though. You know that? It ain't never one-sided. The thing with social media and live stream videos is you got one person, but it's never one-sided.
Oh, we know it's not one-sided. He has his story, but he's not going to spread that, nor will you like him to do that or let him, because we all know his social media is really yours. We know everything you place on your husband's social media, you write it out. You have control over literally everything, but you didn't have control over what he did with his own body when he went off and allegedly had a baby on you. And that is literally obliterating her whole being. When she opened the door to that, by the way, you get what I'm saying? A man is always going to seek something else, because that's what a man needs. He needs comfort. He needs peace. He'd rather be on his roof than be in a house with a woman who brings him grief.
I did a lot of work this year. I really did. I did a lot of work this year. As a partner, as a parent, as a friend, as an agent, as a human, as a creation. I did a lot of work this year.
Oh yeah, you did a lot of work, but it wasn't good work. It wasn't God's work. It was the enemy's work. Obviously, look at the results. You get what I'm saying? And here again, it's all about you. You want people to basically come to, your party, but you're not able to mold and give other people what they want. You're single-minded, you're selfish, and people like that needs to be alone. The only, people that you have now is just people on social media that sits there and just praises you all day and says this, that, and the other. But in real life, ain't nobody doing that. When you get on their nerves, they leave, and that's safe. Because you can't stay around someone who's all about themselves. It's just not going to work.
I did a lot of work this year, and the things that I have endured, not from somebody, from myself, because it really it's not the lies that other people tell us, it's the lies we tell ourselves to exist in it, right? I have allowed things that at this stage in my life, I want to say I can't believe I allowed it, but that would be not giving myself no grace. That would be to kind of beat up on myself. So it's just at this stage in my life, I have allowed things that I cannot allow anymore.
It's not that you've allowed it. It's just gravitated to you because you put the energy out there. So you really think that you could have done all them things to your first husband, and the way you left him, and the way you did him, the way you was sneaking around and all that stuff, and you was having fun, and it was very, very satisfying, and you didn't think that that was going to come back to you? That whole time that you were online doing all that work and all that Soso Shanel developing, your husband was behind your back doing the same thing that you was doing to your first husband. He was slick about it. But one thing that he can't hide is a whole baby. And we all know he needs your help to take care of that baby. And that's the only reason why he's there. It's cheaper to keep him, ain't it, Soso?
From myself, from my relationships with anybody, I can't allow myself to be a certain kind of friend if I want to receive a certain kind of friendship in return. I can't allow myself to be on other folks' boundaries if I want my own boundaries respected, which means I need to honor the boundaries that I set with and for myself. I can't accept poor treatment from a partner, especially not when I'm willing to put all of myself into it, or maybe all of myself doesn't belong in it, just the best version of myself does.
And what is the best version of yourself? You've been talking about this for years. The only thing that can help you with your best version is the word. We can't develop what the best version is. Every time you say you're giving your best version of yourself, which is basically saying you're not incorporating anybody else, okay? A marriage takes two. It's not about what you want. It's not about just what he wants. It's about what you both want. But number one is what God wants. And one thing God never wanted is for you guys to have an open relationship. But you had an open relationship because you both are cheaters and you wanted to have control over the cheating. You felt like if you opened the door to it, then it wouldn't be cheating, and it still basically ended up wrong and bad for you.
I'm going to feel so much better because I sat with this. Because before I would have got up and I would have played house and I would have made my husband feel like I'm just in a great spirit because he don't know how to tend to me when I'm not like this. So I would have had to be like this, and that meant I would have been.
I don't think your husband wants you to be a Stepford wife. I think that's what you feel like. Yeah, it's always like, left or right. No, you have to have some gray areas. You can be respectful, and you need to learn how to communicate without hurting your husband. You've hurt him so much that he's become numb, and he's going to want to hurt you spiritually. You get what I'm saying? So you have to stop doing that. All right? You don't have to be fake and phony. You've been fake and phony for so long, in social media, that now you don't know the difference between social media and reality. Okay? He knows your true self. We don't. We just see what you show.
And then somewhere during the morning, I would have already been bitter and resentful toward him. Like, why won't he just stop talking to me so I can just go in here and cry? And then he would have built that kind of thing. And then I would have just been going through the day, secretly procrastinating and not doing anything that I need to do. Whereas now I just get up and I feel it. It went in with pain. It's going to come out with pain. I just breathe through it. I just bear it and I come out of it. And by 2 o'clock, I feel like a better person. I've definitely done some things. It makes me push myself to get myself out of space.
And what are those things? You cry, you throw things, you break things, you take things, if you know what I mean. None of those things are godly, and it takes you through this big, huge, roller coaster and this huge circle, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And here again, it's just about you. You really don't want company unless you want it. It's not about your partner. It's not about your children. It's not about your clients. It's all about you. That's why you're back on social media, because your clients and your job is not doing well. Yes, it's definitely you. You are the problem. Because to be honest, you have to look at it like that, because you're the only person
Some
who you
people
can
get it, some
control.
people don't.